In this respect, I give the floor to Ms. Marianne Mikko, in other words, myself. I start now addressing 7 and 8. The electoral law, Law number 1, 2008, introduced some measures to encourage the participation of women in political life. For the composition of electoral lists for the Great and General Council, Article 15, para 1 provides that, quoting, no list shall include more than 2/3 of candidates belonging to the same gender. When necessary, the number shall be rounded down. Since 2008, Article 40 of the same law has included the female gender as opposed to the male gender as one of the criteria to be considered for the allocation of a seat between two candidates having obtained the same number of votes. After the elections of last year, namely in 2024, 35% of the members of parliament are women, 21 women and 39 men. 45% of the listed candidates were women, beyond the threshold of 30% foreseen in the law. We know that there is ongoing debate in the country about how to foster the political participation of women. As our UN CEDAW committee adopted last year, the General Recommendation 40, in what we underline parity in decision-making, then 1/3 of female candidates in the candidates list, as it stated in the electoral law of the state party, requires definitely some update. In the executive of the national level, in the government of the state party, there is only 1 out of 10 ministers a woman. In other words, it makes 10%. In public administration, the overall number of women is considerably higher than men. Out of 3 civil servants, 2 are women, while in the leading positions, men clearly dominate, 37 male directors, 27 female directors. In the judiciary, no specific provisions on gender equality for the recruitment of magistrates. Women are, as in different documents reads, around 1/3 of the total of employees in the judicial sector and more prominent in the lower instances. The Commission for Equal Opportunities and the Authority for Equal Opportunities are monitoring closely the political involvement of women, promoting awareness of the daily challenges faced by women. The Union of San Marino Women, or UDS, emphasizes that the current legislation on the gender quotas is insufficient and stresses that discrimination in political participation persists. I have 5 questions. 1. What are the measures to achieve parity and increase women's participation in the public life and women's representation that are currently discussed in San Marino? 2. Could you provide an information about possible review, the provision on the gender quota of 1/3 of candidates on the electoral list for the parliament since 2008? 3. How does the state party explain the very low representation of women in the cabinet? Are there any legal or policy measures in place to ensure the representation of women at the level of heads of state, captains, regent? 4. Which actually is 5. What concrete measures are foreseen to increase the number of women in leading positions in public administration as well as in the judiciary? That was about Article 7 and 8.